G'day, Ben from Melbourne here, and guess what? Doing a very, very late contribution to Tommy's Vinyl Noughts 225 punk vinyl tag. Love Tommy, he always chips in, leaves a great comment or two on my channel. The man is a punk rock machine, way more punk rock than me. Probably only Joaquim from Middle Life Crisis could challenge that man. But anyway, I'm going to have a crack because I do love my punk rock, and of course I'm going to make it as Australian as I possibly can. So there's 20 odd questions, so let's get into it without wasting any more of your precious time. So the first question being very punk, because it's DIY. Make your own question is number one. So my question to you is, what is the greatest band that ever was and ever will be? And if you've ever watched this channel, you probably already know the answer. That's right, baby. It's the original Saints. Don't get any better than this. I was going to say in my opinion, but it's just fact. Can't help it. It's just the way it is. We do it the best over here. Right. Number two. Show your punk vinyl find of 2024. Well, this is almost a little bit embarrassing that I never had this. Lime Spider's Slave Girl, their first record. I've got everything else, but I've been hunting down this mini album for a long time and finally found one, and it is in beautiful condition, and it's the OG on Big Time Records, so very good to have. If you don't know the Lime Spiders, I suggest you check them out. Quick Smart, of course. Slave Girl is the title, and great track off this, 25th Hour. It's just 6 tracks, doesn't take up much of your time, but it's all banger and no fanger. And I'm not sure what that means. Righto, what do we got next? Show a record from a new punk band that took you by storm. Well, if you watch this channel, you'll probably know from watching one of my Shed Burner episodes that I'm in love with Rick and the Sickos. Who would have thought that the Chats could spawn a band as good as this? Because the Chats, as far as I'm concerned, are just a piece of shit. And this is fucking awesome, raw garage punk rock with lots of great riffage, catchy. It's as lo-fi as shit. Yeah, I was going to say lots of heavy things on their mind, but I will save the surprise of the deepness of this record when you watch the Shed Burner episode. Highly recommended record. Okay, what do we got? Show a record from a local punk band. Now, local for me is Melbourne. I'm going to show Cutters is a hardcore punk band. This is a great record. It's full on, as you'd expect with hardcore, but it's actually got quite a bit of light and shade. You know, there's no cardigan wearing, fucking get in touch with your feelings stuff on here, of course, but there is quite a bit of, variation. These guys understand dynamics and know when to explode. It's memorable songs, which a lot of hardcore's not. A lot of hardcore is, just a blur, but the good bands sticks in the old bonds. Now, this is on Legless, of course, the great punk rock label. The record's called Psychic Injury 2, and if you listen to this loud enough, it will cause a psychic injury, as you can probably tell. Show a record from... wrong question. Show your favorite foreign punk record. Well, it's party time, people, and foreign for me is everywhere that's not Australia. So I'm going with the US's The Circulators with the great titled Insufficient Fun. And that's right, this is a party punk record, garage rockin' riffs all the way. Fantastic record. I really enjoyed this one last year, and of course it's on Total Punk, one of the great punk record labels of the last 10 or so years. Show a signed punk record. Now, I'm a shy one. I'm a bit of a wallflower. Don't like to approach people and say, "Here, can you sign my shit?" just so I can show somebody on YouTube. It's not my style. The things I have had signed are usually just because I pre-order them, then that was like the offer or whatever, and they were signed. Not my thing. Just don't dig it. But I do have one I can show you from a former punk. That is Hugo Race. There's his scribble on the side there. That's right, the dude from the Wreckery and on the first Bad Seeds record was a big part of that early Melbourne art punk scene in the late 70s, early 80s. Hugo Race and the True Spirit are a different kettle of fish. He plays like this sort of smoky, spooky, blues-influenced. Wouldn't say it's strictly blues, but yeah, great stuff. And, you know, he's as legit as any punk's going around, in my opinion. Man has definitely gone on his own path. Righto. Show an underrated second album by a punk band. Well, this is only underrated in the way that it had to follow this. And of course, it's this. Eternally Yours. Fuck. Opens with Know Your Product. It's also got This Perfect Day on it. Just those two songs alone, even if the rest was all filler, would be worth buying this record for. But I reckon it stands up really well to the first one. It's just the fact that it was second, I suppose. But yeah, gets a bit overshadowed. Classic record. Love the original Saints. The first three records are amazing. Okay, where are we up to? Show a punk cassette tape that you bought in 2024. Well, I don't buy tapes. Haven't bought tapes for quite a while. But I found a tape just for you. Okay, so probably not a punk band, and people who know this band will be like, what the fuck are you talking about? But I'm going to go with the live Sunny Boys concert at Melbourne Uni on March 22nd, 1981. Now, the Sunny Boys, probably a bit more new wave, which, you know, is what come after punk, I suppose. There is an intensity to them. They were a great band. Alone With You is probably their best known song. But it's punk because it's illegal and free. Yeah, deal with that, fuzz. Okay, let's just settle down so we know which question we're up to. Which new punk record are you most excited to get your hands on in 2025? Well, as usual, there's not a specific record. I'm always open to discovering yet another awesome Australian punk band that'll blow my socks off or flip my wig or any other of those cliches I often use on this channel. I just, you know, am constantly amazed at how every year throws up a handful of just amazing punk rock bands. The Melbourne, well, the Australian scene in general is just thriving, and so many good bands, and working in all corners of punk, and even stretching the understanding of what we say punk is, which I love, because I hate those like set of rules of punk is this, and you got to have this haircut, and you got to dress like that, and it's got to sound like blah. It's like, no, it's not. You're missing the point. It's not punk at all when it becomes completely codified and everyone looks the same and sounds the same. May as well fucking join, I don't know, Fleetwood Mac. That'll do. That'll insult someone. Okay. Show your most played and least played punk records of 2024. Well, one of the most played, I don't have a mathematical system to prove this, by the way. So if you've been around here and you say, I haven't heard that record as much as that record, good on you. Split System's second record, Volume 2. Terrible name for a record. Could have thought of something better, I thought. But that doesn't take anything away from how good this is. As good as their first one. Again, on the great Legless record. I have done on their first record a Shed Burner video if you want to check them out. This is a fantastic band. Really excited to see what they do next because they've released 2 absolute bangers in a row. Least would be this one, and that's mainly because I've only had it for a week, something like that. And that is Delivery's Force Majeure. Just giving you all options, so one of them might be right, but most likely none of them will be. I haven't heard a lot of this, but it's got a bit of a new wavy, catchy kind of bit like Clam, I suppose, if you know that punk band. Good stuff. I'll report back in the future. Okay. Show a punk record that mixes 2 genres. Well, I'm going to go with Billy Gardner's Judges and their great record Judgment Day. This is definitely a punk and roll, as in got a bit of rock and roll in this punk sound, kind of a la Johnny Thunders and the Heartbreakers style thing, but definitely through the Australian punk blender. So it doesn't exactly sound like that, but it's got that kind of swagger, if you will. Of course, being Billy Gardner band, they're on the great Anti-Fade, who seem to have a deal these days with Total Punk for distribution, so you should be able to find this. This is a freaking killer record. Right. Show a drunk punk or straight edge record. This one come to mind straight away. The Drunk Mums with their album Beer Baby. Now, I think the name of the band and the name of the record are probably going to tell you all you need to know of what to expect. And probably the more you think about this, the more problematic it is. We'll just leave it at that, except for to say, yep, Legless. Great label, yet again. What else? We have Show Your Puke punk record. I don't get this association with punk. I think if you can't hold your piss and you fucking have a big chunder, that's not punk, that's just fucking useless. But anyway, just to answer the question, I'm going to go with The Scientist. This heart doesn't run on blood, this heart doesn't run on love. I don't know if that's chunder in that bath, but it's a whole lot of not good going on that cover. And frankly, it makes me feel a little queasy. Righto. Show a record from a band that made only one perfect record. Well, I'm going to say Mouth. Yeah, I know it's a CD. Breaking the rules because I'm fucking punk as fuck. Yeah, deal with it. Their great record, Victim Chant, from the early 90s, Tasmanian band, fronted by Tim Evans, who would go on to form the mighty Bird Blobs in the early 2000s. That's another amazing band. This is just I don't know how to describe it. It's got a bit of that kind of fugazi sound about it, but it's also got really raw hardcore sounds about it. But it's not fast like hardcore. I guess it's got the aggression of that in a way. But some of the songs, like I was saying about Cutters, they do stick in your head. Possibly a bit sloganeering in places, but he was 18, so, give him benefit of the doubt. It's a great record. I think it's only been reissued one time on CD. This one I got back in the day when I saw them, the one and only gig I saw. I think it might have even been their last show at the Punters Club. But it's probably about 20 years since the CD was reissued as well. But that is a killer record. I'm sure you can stream it somewhere. I don't know how that stuff works. Ask your mum. Right. Show a record with a song against Putin or the war in Ukraine. Ooh, controversial, political. Well, I don't have anything that is specific to that, but I'm sure you will all agree that Putin and his crony are just a bunch of cunts. Yeah. And they're trying to force the zone that they don't belong in, and that zone would be Ukraine. That's all I got to say about that. Besides, this is a freaking killer record on the mighty Homeless label. Check them out. They got 2 crackers. The C Word Band. Show your ring music that makes you ready to fight. Well, I'm a lover, not a fighter. But for the sake of this, I chose Cosmic Psychos with a song named after the ultimate fighter, and that is Rambo, the one man who can take on an army and only end up with a speech impediment. So he's like, "No, you go for it. Go for it. Oh, take it over the top. Yeah, go for it. Whoa." What do you expect when you fight 100,000 people, like a whole army? Anyway, great band, legends, but you already know that. Right. Show your mating song. Well, I never kiss and tell people. I think that question is a little bit nosy. So, like Eddie Current Suppression Ring, because I don't kiss and tell, I shall remain a gentleman. That's right. Don't you forget it. Show punk merch that is over the top and must have. Okay, so we have Bench Press with their album Personal Best. Couldn't believe this arrived in the mail. And the postage wasn't too bad considering. Remember the band called Bench Press? Come with a dumbbell. Yeah. Not really. I don't have any fucking stupid merch. It's not my thing. But that was a great visual gag. Right. Share a non-punk record that your rock friends give shit to you for loving. Well, there are 2 ways of looking at this. My taste is so solid that my friends don't laugh at anything I have. I listen to heaps of different stuff outside of punk, and even, just hold on to your hats, I even listen to stuff that's not from Australia every now and then. But they don't make fun of anything I listen to, because my friends aren't assholes. Right, last question. Show a punk rock record cover predicting 2025. Well, I've gone with Civic's album with the aptly titled Future Forecast, and that is a picture of a wall. Which it seems like that orange knob is hell-bent on building over in the US. And that only, well, I'm kind of speechless, to be honest. I know that doesn't happen very often, but the continuing rise of the right and this individualism over community and inclusion, it's getting a bit fucking worrying, to be honest. And what can I say? People, the knock-on effects, it's going to suck in America, but as we're already learning, there's going to be some big knock-on effects for the rest of us. That's the end. I was going to try and go hard politically there, but I thought I'd take the foot off the accelerator, because there's enough fucking negativity in the world, and let's just be thankful there are a few non-fuckheads out there, and most of them are in the VC. Taking aside a little bit of in-house bickering every now and then, most people are pretty good. Anyway, that's the end. Go check out Tommy. He's a champ. If you're even later than me, still do the goddamn punk rock vinyl tag of 2025. Good bunch of questions. Enjoyed that, and I'll see you in the next one.